Hashem na'aseh v'natzliach, Shiur Torah, Bruchim Habayim. We're back on our Wednesday night Shiur, Stump the Rabbi. Zat Hashem, tonight's Shiur will be for a refuah shlema for Rabbanit Levana bat Sarah, Rav Ephraim ben Shulamit, Rabbanit Sarah bat Anat, Rafael ben Chana, Yitro ben Avraham, Dvora bat Mercedes, Esther bat Tzipora, Serach bat Batya, Batya bat Sarah, Elisheva Chaya bat Sarah, David ben Esriya, Doris bat Jora, and all of Am Yisrael, Be'ezrat Hashem, will have refuah shlema, refuat nefesh, refuat haguf. So, here we are. We have this week's parasha starts off, Parashat Emor, starts off with some very interesting laws of the Kohen, where HaKadosh Baruch Hu specifies to Bnei Aaron, to the sons of Aaron, not just the sons of Aaron at the time, but the sons of Aaron until this day, that they are different than the rest of Klal Yisrael. They have different rules. Now, before the Kohanim were the Kohanim, the position of priesthood was given to the firstborn kids, but that was taken away and given to the Kohanim. Some Chachamim say that when the Mashiach comes, the firstborn will also get special roles. Kohanim will always have it also, and Aaron HaKohen will be the Kohen Gadol. But nonetheless, the special position of the Kohanim makes them different. When we do Tefillah b'tzibur in the Knesset, and they have Aliyah Torah, which Be'ezrat Hashem will come back soon. The first Aliyah goes to the Kohen, then the Levi, then Israel. Who's Israel? The rest of Klal Yisrael. So it's very pertinent that a Jew know that if he's a Kohen, he's different. He's got different rules. Now some people have a problem with this. You know, they want unity because of their liberal mentality. You know, they want, it's not fair. I particularly find it interesting that many converts have a problem that they can't marry Kohanim. Like as if they ran out of people in the world and there's no other Jews. They only want to marry the Kohen. They don't even know a Kohen, but they want to marry a Kohen. Why? Maim gnuvim imtaku. Stolen water are sweeter. What they can't have, that's what they want. But that's only pertaining to a woman cannot marry a Kohen. A guy can marry that's a convert, can marry a Kohen. A woman that's a Kohen. But as far as a girl cannot marry, that's a convert, cannot marry a Kohen, but also other types. If she's a divorcee, if she's a widow, special rules. Now, one of the things that it says here in chapter 21, beginning of the parasha in Sefer Vayikra, Parashat Emor, and verse 7, 21:7, it says, Isha zona v'chalala lo yikachu, v'isha grusha mi'isha lo yikachu, ki kadosh hu le'eloav. They shall not marry a woman who is a harlot, or who has been desecrated. And they shall not marry a woman who has been divorced by her husband, for each one is holy to his God. So Kadosh Baruch Hu tells Moshe Rabbeinu to tell the Kohanim, tell everyone, if this woman is a harlot, she's been desecrated, she's not allowed to marry a Kohen. She did TeShuva. Good for you, you can marry somebody else. Now just because you were a harlot doesn't necessarily mean you're a bad person. If you did TeShuva, Kadosh Baruch Hu says, Baruch HaBa. Where do we learn this from? Rachav. Rachav was not only a top harlot, but also she was one of the most beautiful women in the world, and she was a Goya. But because she did TeShuva, Kadosh Baruch Hu not only welcomed her into Am Yisrael, but she married the Gdol Ador, Yeshua ben Nun. So sometimes guys say, oh listen, Rabbi, I want to marry someone, and but I want to make sure she's a virgin. I want to make sure she's a virgin. Are you a virgin? No, but Rabbi, I don't want to make sure. Oh, so you're better than Yeshua ben Nun? You're better than Yeshua ben Nun? Go fly a kite. Go with your arrogance. You and your arrogance leave my house. Two of you. Both of you leave. Don't leave the arrogance here and you go. Why? People want to judge other people. They don't want to judge themselves. The guy has been with a football team, but he wants his wife to be a newborn baby. This doesn't mean that you look for this and look for that. Of course there's an extraordinary value that if a woman has never been desecrated, never been touched, and so on and so forth. But you don't judge them based on that. But that doesn't mean that everyone should just do whatever they want. Why? Because of what I'm about to tell you. What I'm about to tell you is probably going to hit some nerves. What does this really say? It says if a woman's a prostitute, if a woman's a harlot, if a woman is a zonah, not allowed to be with a Kohen. If she was divorced, not allowed to be a Kohen. So the Gemara asks, what's zonah? What is zonah? Say, oh, it's a woman that works at a certain place. She does everything. No, it's the oldest profession in the world. No, Rabbi? No. You know what zonah is? A Jewish girl that one time in her life, she was with a goy. She's a zonah, according to the Torah. Shem Yishmor v'Yatzil. One time, according to the Torah, that's the Torah calls her. So that means that if when she was 18, 19, 20 years old, she didn't know right or left, Mustafa and Chris were competing for her, she picked one of them, one night stand, Hashem Yishmor, and she went back to her life. 10 years passed, finally found a nice Jew, finally did TeShuva. She wants to marry him. What's the problem? He's a Kohen. Comes from the Kohen family. What does Torah say? Not allowed. Yeah, but he loves me. Good for you. Not allowed. Yeah, but I love him. It's very sad. It's going to be a lot of tears. Not allowed. Now, you know who has the worst position here? The rabbi. Because the rabbi is the one that has to tell her. And I had this merit to fulfill this mitzvah. It's very, very difficult. I think I cried as much as the girl. To tell her that the one that she thought is her fiancé cannot be a fiancé. Why? He's a Kohen. And according to the Torah, she's forbidden. Even though, but she goes, Rabbi, I did TeShuva already. I said, you're an amazing person. If I had a son, I'd give him to you. If I had a son, I'll give it to you. No problem. But Torah says no. But what if we do it anyway? If you do it anyway, then you're going against God. Then you're going to have problems. What kind of problems? Just imagine the worst kind, a little worse than that. Both of you. Why? You're going against Hashem. So here we learn that it's not just Gehinom that we have to worry about. The fiery, horrible place that we've discussed, but rather that we have a principle in the Torah where life is a big circle. You know, the Goyim call what goes around comes around, or karma, all types of other terms that they stole from Judaism and just put their name tag on it. It's like you created the product, but they put their logo on it. China. So Torah says that everything is a circle. Don't ever think that you do something now, it's not going to have some type of ramification, good or bad. So Gemara says, Rabbi Hanina, Kodesh Kodeshim, tells his wife, after she saw her give money to some poor person, he says to his wife, please, next time, Chazakah u'bucha, you give money to a poor person. But the next time if you see the poor person coming, if you already see him from the window, and you know he's coming, open the door already and go out and give it to him. Go towards him to give it to him. She says, my dear husband, why? You could just come here, what's the reason? He goes, no, because if you go out there and you treat the homeless person with extra grace, and you make the effort to give it to him, maybe Hashem will do the same thing for our children when they become homeless. Now you tell this to any mother, you go, what? You're cursing my kids? Rabbi Chanel, you're cursing our kids? He goes, no, chas v'shalom. I'm not cursing our kids. But it's a well-known thing that life is a circle. That one day you're up, and it could be that another day you're down. One part of your life you're rich, and another part of your life you're poor. And if it's not you, it could be your kids. And if it's not your kids, it could be your grandkids. At some point, even if you're the richest man, at some point, someone along the line, one of your descendants could be completely broke. So if you're a conscious person that understands what Torah actually says here, you're going to already think about not just you. You can think about past you. Not because you're saving money for a retirement plan. No retirement plan is going to help you with this. There are certain people from some of the wealthiest families in history that are completely broke to the extent of being homeless. Now, if you hear some of the names, you say, oh yeah, he must be rich. No, he's homeless. What do you mean? But his grandfather was the richest man in America. One of the richest people in history. How could it be? He had enough money for 1,000,000 years. If they would have just simply spent money, $1 million every day, he'd still be rich. Kadosh Baruch Hu doesn't work that way. Kadosh Baruch Hu decides who's going to be rich, who's going to be poor. Yeah, what about the grandfather? Grandfather had the merit to have money. Great-great-great-grandson, not so much. Why? Kadosh Baruch Hu decided. Kadosh Baruch Hu decided. One king asks his dear friend, Talmid Chacham, tells him, my dear friend, you are a very wise person, I respect you. I want you to please give me a gift. But a gift that is going to help me in life. He says, what kind of gift to help you in life? He says, you see, I have everything. I have money, I have a castle, I have control, I have everything. But I don't want this success to go to my head. So how do I do that? Everybody says yes to me, everybody agrees with me, except you. You tell me the truth. But what do I do if you're not around? Rabbi says, no problem, I got something for you. A few weeks pass, says, Your Highness, I have the gift for you. Now, if you're a king that has a castle full of diamonds, what are you expecting? You're expecting something honorable. Expecting something expensive. The rabbi gives him a little silver ring. Cheap ring, you buy it from Chinatown, $15. But on it, as engraving of 3 letters. Gazi. Gimel Zayin Yud. Says, who's this Gazi? Who is this Gazi on this cheap ring? So, no, it's a very precious ring. Made it just for you. Who is this Gazi? This Gazi stands for Gamze Ya'avo. This too will pass. Your Highness, you need to know that no matter where you are in your life, if the times are really, really good, don't take it to your head. This too will pass and things will turn around and it's not going to be so good. One day the maggots are going to eat you for lunch. One day the enemy may win. One day things are not going to be so good. One day you're not going to be so healthy and young. Gamze Avo. But don't get depressed. If you have a down month, you have a down year, you have a down decade, things go bad, don't get depressed. Why? Gamze Avo. This too will pass. The bad time will pass also, Your Highness. Life is a circle. This was the priceless gift. Why? A person that knows that no matter where he is in life, this too will pass, automatically half of the concern about his problem is gone. Why? Because one of the primary reasons that people get to the point of desperation, depression, and even commit suicide is because of this reason, where they don't believe that this will pass. The problem that we make as human beings on a regular basis is that we believe that wherever we're at right now, it's permanent. Hence the reason of why when people become successful, especially if they're young and unexperienced or inexperienced, they start doing a lot of stupid things. They start buying expensive cars, start buying houses they don't even have enough people to fit in. They start doing a bunch of dumb things because they believe that if they're successful now, surely they're going to be successful in 5, 10, 20, 30 years. We call those people new money. What happens to new money? Broke. Most of those people go broke. Why? They spend a lot of money assuming that their income and their success will continue, only to realize shortly later that their hot stage is gone. Their top product is no longer wanted. It's discontinued. Their idea is no longer valid. It's obsolete. Their athletic career, their physical ability, their idea is no one cares about it anymore. Why? Something better came along. So they spent a lot of money, and this happens a lot with very successful entrepreneurs, athletes, all types of people that deal with in Hollywood of some kind. They make 10, 20, 30, 50, 100, 200 million dollars in a very short period of time, and then you read about them in the news 5, 6 years later that they're living in their mother's basement. How could it be? You had enough money for a small civilization. How could it be? I wrote a paper years ago that shows that nearly 90% of the NFL athletes go bankrupt and lose every single penny that they have within 3 to 4 years after their career is over. Now you would think, oh yeah, but if he has, let's say, at least 15-year career, 20-year career, you know, he went from 20 to 40 years old, he at least got some time to enjoy the money. No, wrong. Average career, less than 4 years. Yeah, but he made $100 million and he lost all of it in less than 4 years? Sometimes less. Sometimes less. It's the same thing with the NBA, same thing with Major League Baseball, same thing with everything. Same thing with the, all the types. It's constant. Why? They have this mindset that their success is permanent. The people that you see that have gained a lot of wealth and are really, really successful, you know, after a very long career are few and far in between. They're literally 1 in a million. Now, on the other hand, what ends up happening to those people, or people like them, is when they fall, they get very depressed. If money was the substance that they used to give themselves a spiritual high, then what ends up happening is when that substance is no longer valid, they have very severe withdrawal systems, psychological withdrawal systems, meaning that they now have lost their purpose to life. Because that was their drug, that was their fuel, That was their purpose to live, which in essence means they now have a purposeless life. The truth is, they never had a purpose. The truth is, they had a purposeless life even before this. They just didn't know it yet. They were addicted to the money, they were addicted to the fame, they were addicted to the success, assuming it's going to continue. But then they realized that this is gone. And now they think, oh, my life is over. No, your life was over beforehand, you just didn't know yet. What is it like? Sometimes in certain electronic devices that they have these LED lights. And you take out the outlet, take out the electric outlet, the thing from the electric outlet, but the LED light stays on for a little while. But there's no electricity. How's it on? There's no electricity. Answer is, there's still a little bit of remaining electricity that the system already got, that this LED light is living off of for these extra few seconds or so. That's the same thing with those people. While they were living their fake life that was completely based on materialism and getting their spiritual high for money and living a purposeless life, what ends up happening is that they think, no, it's going, everything is okay, I got a lot of money, everything's okay. No, everything's not okay. You happy? Well, no, I'm going to get happy. But you have the money that you wanted, though. Yeah, I just need a few more things, though. I need a few more. But you have a lot. Yeah, just it's one more thing. I need to get married. I need to have another kid. I need to have another house. I need to build this company. I need to have this deal. It's always something else. What? Material. Why? They realized their goal didn't get them to their goal. They achieved their goal, but it didn't get them to their goal. This type of purposeless life is very, very difficult to live. It's unfortunately very common, because what ends up happening is that once these people lose their money, they now have not only no money and no purpose, but they don't even know how to get themselves out of this situation because they're not used to it. They're not used to recovering. So this is a battle. Literally a survivorship battle. Now how could they get out of this situation? Same exact principle. Gazi. Gam ze yavo. This too will pass. What do you mean? How am I going to make money? Hashem's going to send you money. Yeah, but I don't have any money. I used to have $100 million. I didn't tell you Hashem's going to send you another $100 million. He may not. But if he sends you 50,000, you could live. Well, it's so tough. No. It's only tough if you want to maintain the same lifestyle. But live you can. No, but I'm so used. Get unused to it. Stop being a baby. But what did I do? A lot. A lot of wrong things. You're lucky you're even alive. Why are you saying that, Rabbi? Are you cursing me? No, that's what Torah says. Torah says that money is considered damim. Money is called blood in the Torah. Several names for money. One of them is blood. Bloods, plural. Why bloods? It's because people spent their entire life attaining it. They spent all of their blood attaining it. And what ends up happening is that HaKadosh Baruch Hu sees that the time is up on this person. He's made a certain amount of sins. She made a certain amount of sins. And they're ruining their own life. And now, if they're going to do TeShuva, they have to start soon. Or else they're going to simply not achieve TeShuva. So Hashem sends them different messengers. Sometimes he sends them a rabbi. Sometimes he sends them a movie. One of them, Hashem took back his millions maybe. Sometimes he did. Sometimes he did different things. But sometimes they don't get those messages. They don't get, no, I don't want to watch the movie. It's too long. It's an hour and a half. Too long. Yeah, but the movie in the movie theater for 3 hours, X-Men, you watch though. They don't want to listen to the rabbi. They don't want to listen to the movie. So Hashem said something else. What do you do? IRS. Lawsuit. Competition. Divorce. Medical problems. All types of horrible things that happen to people where literally within almost overnight it seems, all of the money they believe they worked hard for, gone. 5, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 100, $200 million, gone. Money that you would think, how could such a person spend that kind of money? I mean, with that kind of money, if the guy spends $1 million a year, he can still live for 100 years. How could he lose all of it? Could lose. Could lose. Happens every day. Because no one just sits with their money in cash and puts it in some safe. What do? They invest it in different things. Why? They want to make more money. They want to protect their assets. You know how they protect their assets? By putting their assets at risk. And reality is, one day, yes, sir, listen, we have something to tell you, sir. What? You know that mutual fund, the Franklin Templeton fund, you invested $10 million? Yeah. Yeah, it's not worth $10 million anymore. What? Because the market went down a little bit? Yeah, something like that. Well, what happened? It's down to 9.5 because it's a conservative fund. Conservatives, Franklin Templeton, it's a big company, $1 trillion company. So what? 9.5? Well, I lost a little bit. Why so nervous, Mr. Broker? No, sir. It's not worth anything. What? What do you mean it's not worth anything? Yeah, you see, the Franklin Templeton company, they announced that the assets are not worth anything. What happened to them? Well, we don't really know, actually, sir. We don't know. But it was just announced in the news 2 weeks ago. But your next statement is going to have a pretty fair change. What kind of change? Well, it used to be 10 million. Okay, so what now? 0. Huh? Yeah, okay, so we got to go. Well, what do you mean you got to go? You just told me I lost $10 million. Yeah, but we have a bunch of other people that lost $10 million and more. But thank you for your business, sir. We hope that you come back to us as a client. This happened right now. Sorry about that. You know how many times this happens? It continue happening. I lost everything. There's no purpose to life. I'm going to kill myself. And some people kill themselves. Why? Because their life was purposeless to begin with. What really changed? Absolutely nothing. In reality, nothing changed. Because the money is not like money that he was using to buy groceries, and and he was he needed the money to go pay the tuition for the kid. The money was on some statements. It was some digital number that was on a piece of paper or on a screen, better yet, that he would see once a month. But now that he feels like he doesn't have it anymore, there's no purpose to life. In reality, all that happened here is that he realized that his life was purposeless, and now it's even worse. Now he can't even get that dopamine rush that he gets for half a second every month to look at his statement and see another few $100,000 up, a few $100,000 down. He doesn't even have that pleasure anymore. So when people are so focused on materialism, it's very, very simple for them to become very depressed. And once they get depressed, it's very quick for them to become suicidal. But if a person takes this concept from the Torah of Gamzei Avo, this too shall pass, they'll realize that it's all a circle, and yes, you lost everything, yes, you lost a lot, yes, things are down, yes, there's a heart broken, yeah, bad stuff happens in everybody's life at some point or another. It's not a curse, it's a reality. The longer you live, the more stuff you're going to experience, some good, some bad. Be'ezrat Hashem, we all have only good, it's just, that's Gan Eden. So now, what does a person do once he gets to tough times? He has to remember, Gamzei Avo, this too shall pass. So yeah, I'm down, I'm out of a job, I'm out of this, I'm out of that, I got tough times. It's not going to continue this way. How long is it going to continue? I don't know. But I got to buckle up, stay strong, and keep pushing. Why? Life is worth it. Now I can tell you that I have a lot of experience with this. When I was going through the worst parts of my own personal battle in health, life, money, all these different things, everything, there was like a storm of all storms. Everything was collapsing all at the same time. Where one day I wake up and aside from my health being in a toilet and aside from my company also being in the toilet, there was a little bit left, and there's a few $1 million left. Wake up. Oh, bad news. What? Your portfolio is down 84%, sir. What do you mean, sir? It's my portfolio. I'm the manager. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So what do you want? We need you to come up with a few $1 million in 2 hours. Well, I don't have. I just lost. Yeah, so you're going to have to sell everything for a loss. No chance to recover. Why can't you give me a couple of days? That's not the rule, sir. You got $30 million on the line here. $40 million on the line here. Every few minutes it could be worse. You could be in a negative. Okay, so let me just try to sell this, that. No, we're going to sell it for you. Yeah, but you guys don't know how to sell. You're going to ruin it even worse. Sir, thank you for your business. Click. By the time they finished, they made it much worse. Instead of being left with a few million, $11,000. Now, you got to call the clients. I'm sorry. I didn't do anything wrong. I didn't do anything illegal. But I'm still sorry. Why? You gave me a responsibility. And I failed. Many people took it well. We appreciate you. We've done a lot of business with you. And so on and so forth. But a few, not so much. Who were those few that didn't take it so much? The ones that their whole life was based on material. And those people were usually the closest to me. The ones that I invested the most in. The ones that I invested the most in. The ones that I helped a lot. The ones that I put everything into. All the energy. Best part yet, the ones that I made them all of the money. Not me, but in my practice and all the different things that we did for them, HaKadosh Baruch Hu is obviously the one that does everything. But when they came to me, they were on the verge of bankruptcy. Within 3-4 years, turn these people into multimillionaires. All of a sudden, they're big shots. They're the ones that accused. They're the ones that if you look at on the internet, you look it up, all my enemies, they like to look me up. So, it's good for them. It gives them something to do. And look, they say, oh yeah, look, lawsuit. Look, a couple of people sued him. He's a criminal. You do business, people are going to sue you. The more business you do, the more likely you have to get sued. If you didn't get sued, you probably didn't do much business. You do $1 billion in business, get sued for $3 million, that's pretty good. It's pretty good. Now, smart people also understand that it's not about the lawsuit. Why? It's about the outcome. What's the outcome? Somebody sues you for $1 million, wins $1 million, obviously shows you're guilty. But if somebody sues you for $1 million and settle for $9,000, settle for $9,000. Why would you settle for $9,000 if you really have a real claim for $1 million, $2 million? What does it show? There's no claim. There's no case. But the enemies are not going to tell you that. What are they going to tell you? See, he got sued. Criminal. No, you're just a piker. You never made any money in your life. You do $1 billion in business like I did. Billion with a B. Billion. Do $1 billion in business, then you can talk. But, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, circle. You did $1 billion in business, now you say thank you for people that send you $200 for tzedakah. Why? Life is a circle. Life is a circle. Now, what do I prefer? 100 million, zillion percent saying thank you for $200. Why? All the money in the world did not give me any blessing. What gave me blessing? Torah. So when a person uses the fall as a way to connect to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, the fall turns into a blessing. When he realizes that Gem Ze Ya'avor, this too shall pass, and eventually gets out of it, he realizes the whole thing is a blessing. One big blessing. Person doesn't do that, his life turns into one big curse. And for a while it was a curse. Why? You're dealing with pain. You wake up in the morning in pain. You go to sleep in pain. During the day you're in pain. Sometimes more, sometimes less, depending on the on the volume. What HaKadosh Baruch Hu decides to give you for that hour. Depends. Sometimes pain, you're pretty much disabled. Laying there, wherever you fell. Not wherever you lay down, wherever you fell. You just sit there, screaming, yelling, crying. No one can help you. Sometimes. Sometimes you have to boil yourself in water, hot water, like boiling water. Why? Because the pain from the water is better than the pain that you have otherwise. Sometimes the best solution is to go cut your body up. Why? You got to go to the doctors to cut you up, give you other pain, give you a surgery. Baruch Hashem. Why? That pain, suffering there is better than the pain that you have. And so on and so forth. Now when you deal with so much pain, what happens? It's depressing. It gets you to a point where you think this is going to be forever. I'm going to be sick forever. I'm going to be in pain forever. Who wants to live such a life? Oh, well, at least I have a little bit of money. So I can buy some stuff to give me some happiness. Oh, money's gone. Oh, okay, so money's not gone. Okay, so I have friends. A couple of friends. Oh, no, the friends, yeah, they just robbed your office, sir. Those friends that, the ones that you bought them the house, the ones that you helped their marriage, the ones that you did all that stuff for, yeah, they just robbed you. Oh, no friends too. Okay, so friends, money, health, what do you got? Okay, so I'm just gonna die. I'm just gonna jump off a bridge. No. You still got a few things that are good. What's the few? Your wife, your mom, brothers. When you're in hell, in your mind, you don't think that this is valuable. In reality, priceless. Why? Because you realize, Gamze Yavo. Now, as I was in my hell and I wanted to commit suicide and I wanted to do a lot of different things to end it, I wasn't thinking like this. Why? I didn't have Torah. But HaKadosh Baruch Hu in His mercy sent us the message, and little by little we woke up and to realize that there's much more value to life than money, than this, than all these different things that we talked about. And with or without the pain, and whether the pain goes away or not is irrelevant. There's still value to life. And you start realizing that you got to keep pushing. You got to keep moving forward. You got to keep doing things that are good. And you can enjoy life even with the suffering, even with the difficulty. And Baruch Hashem, little by little you start getting yourself into a situation where you start dealing with the problems differently. It's not that you start doing tshuva, all your problems go away. Sometimes that happens, but not necessarily always, and not necessarily right away either, even if it does go away. But the beautiful part is, Rabotai, is that you start living life with a purpose, because all of a sudden your new life has to do with purpose of life, with the afterlife, with continuity. It's not just about here, it's about later on, it's about after, and so on and so forth. But a lot of us don't think like that. A lot of us don't think that we we don't think beyond this life. We think about just now. And we get very, very depressed because of that, and that's a mistake. So, the first thing that we need to know is that this life is just a corridor to the real life. And this life, whether it be 70, 80, 100 years, whatever it is, it's not real life. This is the place you work. Where you enjoy the benefits of your work is a place that's eternal. Or you pay the consequences. When a person starts thinking about Olam HaBa, the next world, his actions, his decisions, his mindset, our mindset, are very different. Why? Because now you start realizing, okay, wait a minute, hold on. So maybe what I'm going to do right now may cost me a lot of money. Maybe to give $1,000 stock, I'm going to have $1,000 less in my bank. To help out a friend, give him a job, even though I really don't want to give him a job, but he needs a job or else he's not going to be able to feed his kids, and just to give him money, it's not really helping him. So I'd rather just give him a job. Yeah, but that means I'm spending and this and that. You start doing if you do the math in your head, it's never going to work out. But if you do the math for Olam HaBa, it'll work out. Why? It's much better to give somebody a job than to give somebody tzedakah. Why? Because when you give somebody a job, they don't feel like you're giving them anything. Feel like, thank you, do me a favor, but I'm working for it. You still have their honor, you still have their respect. You give somebody tzedakah, it's very difficult. Why? A person is ashamed. So now, if a person understands that if they continue pushing for life, they continue pushing, and fighting through the struggle, and it's going to be over at some point, without giving yourself a time frame. A lot of people have a problem because they give themselves a specific time frame. Oh, no, if I don't get a solution, if I'm not healed, if I'm not making money, if I'm not married, if I'm not this or that, by next year, by next month, by within the next 2 years, that's it, I'm giving up. No, don't give Hashem a clock. He's not your employee. You got to keep pushing and living life and going through the struggles, because that's what you got to do. Don't put a clock on it. Why? The clock will always disappoint you. The clock will always disappoint you. So, make sure that you're pushing without the clock. Why? Because it's the right thing to do. It's the right thing to do. This is what you're supposed to do. Live. And use whatever you learned from that difficult experience to change your actions if you have to do it all over again. Now, what a lot of people don't know is that although the main punishment that happens to a person happens in Olam HaBa, and the main reward surely happens in Olam HaBa, there are different things that HaKadosh Baruch Hu does in this world, where He runs the world with measure for measure, that's as strict as can be. So much so that the Gemara says, anyone says that HaKadosh Baruch Hu is vatran, mevatrim me'av. Anyone says that Hashem just lets things go, Hashem gives them an extra punishment just for thinking that. Hashem doesn't let go. Everything has to be paid for. Everything. Either by TeShuva or by suffering. You pick. So now, at the time of the Chafetz Chaim, there was a young man, successful, that was a landlord, and his poor widow and her kids weren't able to pay the rent. So the landlord came, and he started intimidating her and yelling at her. He said, I'm sorry, just give me some more time. I don't have anywhere else to go. I don't have money for food. I just let us, at least to give us a roof. We'll get you the money. No, lady, you got till 2 hours. But I don't have anywhere else to go. I don't have family. I'm alone here in the middle of nowhere in the countries of Ashkenaz, Europe over there. I don't have anything. It's freezing outside. Just give us a little more time. This Rasha Merusha removed the roof. It wasn't like today's roofs and today's houses. Removed the roof of the house. And let the pouring rain go into the house, so she had to run away from there. When Chafetz Chaim heard about this, he's still young. They told him about this. He said, I wonder what HaKadosh Baruch Hu is going to do with him. I wonder what kind of punishment Hashem is going to give this person. Now, everybody heard about the story. Everybody got shocked. Not only to be so vicious to another Jew, but to a widow. A woman, just has kids and no husband to pay, nothing. So vicious, one Jew to another. Shem Yachem. So everyone expected Hashem to give judgment. A year passed, nothing. The guy continued making money. Another year, nothing. Another year, nothing. 10 years, nothing. 20 years, nothing. People forgot about it already. 50 years passed. 50 years passed. That means 50 Yom Kippur. 50 Rosh Hashanah. 50 opportunities at least once a year. Do TeShuva, that's where you go, Yom Kippur. do TeShuva, I'm sorry, Hashem, shouldn't have done it. 50 years. Nothing. One day, it's announced in the community, it's a very horrible case. Older man got bitten by a dog that has rabies. In those days, they didn't have the cure. Torah always had the cure, by the way. It's mentioned in the Gemara, but not everybody learns Gemara. But anyway, man got bitten by a dog, has rabies. The guy's in so much pain, he's barking, he's this, he's yelling, he's screaming. Agony. It's hard to even be around it. And this person is extremely successful. This person has a lot of things, this, that, but no doctor can help him. Nothing can be done. And he's suffering something that no one's ever seen before. He suffered so much from the pain of this rabies, he died from pain. It's called Mita Meshuna, strange death. So Chafetz Chaim heard about the story. He says, I wonder who this person is. He investigated it. Who is it? It's the guy that threw out the widow and her kids, removing the roof. Rasha Merusha. Kadosh Baruch Hu waited for him, 50 years. You got it. Right? Kadosh Baruch Hu doesn't give up. Doesn't let go. Gave him opportunity. Say, oh, where's the kindness? What do you mean, where's the kindness? What do you mean, where's the kindness? He waited 50 years. If that's not kindness, what's kindness? Somebody owes you $500, you call them every week. No, you have the money, I need the money. No, I don't have it right now. Come on, what are you doing this to me? You start yelling at the guy, insulting him. Yeah. You don't wait for 2 weeks. Hashem waited 50 years. 50 years waiting for this guy to do TeShuva. Every year he made sure there's a holiday that's a TeShuva holiday. Nothing. That's not kindness. What's kindness? And that's only the punishment here. We're not talking about what's waiting for him over there, Hashem Yishmor. Chafetz Chaim says here, we see again, measure for measure. So another time, Rabbi Chaim told me this story. He says that, true story, that just happened a few days ago. A rabbi by the name of Rabbi Adani said it, and Rabbi Chaim heard it, and he knows the person himself. True story. Says there was a woman that went into a bank and asked to withdraw 300 shekels, about $100 from her account. Teller says, sure, no problem. Looked in the computer, negative balance. Says, I'm sorry, ma'am, I can't give you. You already have a negative balance in the account. You've already borrowed against the account. So now there's a negative balance. And you haven't paid. We can't give you. The woman says to him, listen, don't do this to me. I need money to feed my kids. I'm a widow. I don't have any money. I need money just to feed my kids. I need, $100 to feed my kids. He says, I'm sorry, lady, I can't. It's the bank rules. So, but listen, I need the money. I need to eat. We need to eat. I can't, lady, I can't. I'm sorry. It's not my money. It's the bank. She said, listen, no, go on. The guy got so frustrated, he started yelling at the woman. What do you think this is, a gemach? What do you think it's charity? The woman was so insulted in front of everybody. It's the bank. This guy's yelling at her. So insulted. He says, she starts crying hysterical. He says, that's how much you embarrassed me over $100? And she runs out of the bank. Now, the president of the bank saw this, and he couldn't take it, and he ran after the lady, went outside, and said, this lady, I'm sorry, takes 300 shekels out of his pocket. He goes, here you go. You don't have to give it back. She's crying, no, 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 I don't want. I don't want nothing. I don't want. He said, I tried to convince her, no way, she's not taking it. Not taking it. And she went away. When the president of the bank comes back in, remember, he's a little shocked, but then he sees in the office, he sees that the vice president is crying. He gets emotional over the story. Well, so he goes in the middle, he goes, what happened? You okay? Something happened? No, it's okay. No, tell me, what happened? Listen, it's okay. No, tell me what happened, tell me. I saw what happened. Okay? It reminded me of a story that happened 40 years ago. What happened 40 years ago? He says, when I was a kid, was a little boy, my dad died, and my mom had to take care of us. And she didn't have much money. And we went to the Makolit, we went to the store, deli, and the way it worked in Israel, it doesn't work like that in America, is that even if you don't have money, he writes it in the book. Oh, listen, I'm buying this, and this, put it on my tab, and over time you pay it. It's like a community bank. I remember when we left Eretz Yisrael over 30 years ago, my mom, God bless her, she was very struggling financially at the time, built up a tab of almost $5,000, which is an enormous amount of money to the Makolit. The fact that the guy Rafi, Hashem bless him, I don't know if he's still alive or not, but the fact that he was able to carry such tab for my family is a big chesed. But one of the greatest things that I learned in my life is that despite the fact that we moved from Eretz Yisrael to America, my mom sent the money every single month until she paid the full tab. Until she paid the full tab. Took a few years, but she sent him all the money until she paid the full tab. Could have ran away because no, come on, I'm a different country. He has a no. Honesty is honesty. You don't have to be the most religious person in the world to be honest, to be ethical. Somebody did you a favor, don't be a rasha, a kfui tova, an ungrateful person. So this guy, this vice president says, I remember 40 years ago, I was a kid, my father died, went to the deli, my mom bought, got a few things, minimal stuff, some bread, some milk, cheese, so we could eat. Went to the counter, and the owner looked in his book, said, I'm sorry, I can't do it. So my mom whispered to him, thought I can't hear. When I was a little kid, she didn't think I was paying attention. But I heard every word. And she whispered to him, don't do this to me. Don't do this to me. Please. It's the only thing I have. I need food for my kids. I don't have anything in the house. I don't have anything in the house. Please. The guy looks at her and he gets angry. It's my fault. You don't have anything. I can't do it. Return it. Please, don't do this to me. She's still whispering. The guy gets so angry. He takes the bag from her, does basket out, takes everything out, puts back empty basket. He says, now get out of the store. Kicks her out of the store. He said, my mom cried, and the pain that I saw on my mom's face, says, the worst pain I've ever seen on anybody's face. For mom not to have food for her kids, might as well be death. I saw my mom. And went home. Baruch Hashem, we overcame it. I grew up, became successful, became vice president of the bank over here. And now this happened. So the president of the bank says, wow, it's quite a story. And he goes, I'm not finished. See, sir, that storyteller over there, the owner of the deli, that threw my mom out, his daughter was that woman that the bank teller in our bank just threw out of the bank. That was his daughter. That was his daughter. Life is a circle. Life is a circle. Rabbi Yaron tells us, life is a circle. That's how it works. Person needs to know. But there's also good ways. Chafetz Chaim, at one point, was ready to build his yeshiva. This is about 120 years ago. Build yeshiva. Chafetz Chaim, giant chacham, rich person comes, says, oh, I'll pay for the whole thing. Alvai, we're trying to build the yeshiva, $20 at a time. We're waiting for the guy that's going to come say, I'll pay for the whole thing. Write check, $10 million, Tabach Shimo, write check for $1 million. No, something. Not yet. Zod Hashem. Coming. Soon. But somebody came to the Chafetz Chaim. Alvai, we were shoestring in the Chafetz Chaim shoe, but he wanted to build the yeshiva. We're trying to build the yeshiva. He did what was needed. We're trying to do what's needed. Follow the instructions of our forefathers. When will my actions reach the actions of my forefathers? What a Jew is supposed to say every day. The Chafetz Chaim says, I'm going to open a yeshiva. Rich person comes, says, for the Rav, I'm ready to pay for the whole thing. Chafetz Chaim says something, I don't think anybody in the world is going to say. No. Can't pay for the whole thing. No, but for the Rav, I insist, I have the money. It's not about the money. Can't pay for the whole thing. Well, for the Rav, I keep Shabbat. I keep Mitzvot. It's not about you keeping Shabbat. I know you keep Shabbat. I know you come to shul, everything. We like you. You're a good guy. Can't pay for the whole thing. Why not? For the Rav. Says the most you can get is one wall. You can pay for a wall. Pay for a wall. Give you bracha, put your name on the wall. That's what you can pay for. But why? For the Rav, I want to do the whole thing. He goes, you see, we don't have the Beit HaMikdash right now. We don't have the Beit HaMikdash. That means we have to get as many mitzvot as possible. We need as many people as possible to get involved in this mitzvah, to show Hashem that we want to build the Beit HaMikdash. So we can't give all the merit to just you. Because every single person that donates money for the sake of Torah is fulfilling the entire Torah. A person that does not donate for the sake of Torah, it's going against the Torah. So much so the Chafetz Chaim almost made it an halakha. He made it an halakha, but then he retracted it. Says someone that doesn't support Torah, en lo chelek l'olam haba, has no share of the world to come. But then he said to the guy, no, remove it. He goes, why? It's not emet? He goes, it's emet. Then why are we removing it? He says, because if I make this a psak din, they're going to make a psak din in Shamayim too, nobody has a chance. All the people that don't donate for Torah, instead they donate to Hanukkah parties. They donate to horses, they donate to dogs. Let's at least give them a chance. But that's the emet. You have to support Torah. How much? As much as you can. At the very least, you're ma'asel. If you could do chomesh, you could do 20%, you do 20. Point is, you have to give money for Torah. Why? That shows the Kadosh Baruch Hu that this is your most important investment in eternity. It's much more important than your second house. It's much more important than a nicer car. It's much more important than any jewelry you get. Why? It's investing for Olam HaBa. It's investing to build the Torah and sanctify Kadosh Baruch Hu's name every day. So this man, rich guy, says, that's what I want to do. I want to pay for the whole thing. I want to invest for Olam HaBa. He says, no. You invest for Olam HaBa, but only a wall. Why? Everybody else also has to invest. So the guy accepted it, got a bracha from the Rav. Chafetz Chaim gives him a very respectable blessing, makes the wall a very special wall in the yeshiva, puts his name on it. Baruch Hashem. As you would have it, life is a circle. HaKadosh Baruch Hu puts us here, puts us there, puts us there, all types of places. A few years passed, and the guy dies. The donor dies. Now, of course, the government don't need much excuses to take all your money. If you're a Jew, that's enough of an excuse. Second, he died, he said, he owed here, he owed there, he owed there. Wiped out everything that he had. Took the house, took everything. Left the wife and the kids with nothing. Zero. Zero, zero, zero. Chavetz Chaim heard about this, told the people, bring the woman here. Brought to Chavetz Chaim, crying, miskina. Says, no, nothing to cry about. Here, let me show you. Takes her to the yeshiva. Come over here. Here you go. This is your room. This is your house, your new house. You and the kids are going to live here. You have a designated room in the yeshiva. Why? Kodarav is for people. No. It's the least we can do. This is what the yeshiva owes you. Yeshiva owes your husband. You see, when a person invests into Torah, invests into helping Am Yisrael do TeShuva, invest into sanctify Kadosh Baruch Hu's name, he's not doing the Torah a favor. He's not doing the rabbi a favor. He's doing himself a favor. Why? Life's a circle. The money that you have today, saying, no, I'll donate at the end of the year. Who says you're going to have the money at the end of the year? What's the most important mitzvah we have in the Torah? Mitzvah that you have now. Which mitzvah? Whatever you can do right now, do. That's the most important mitzvah. Yeah, Shabbat's a big deal, but Shabbat's not today. When Shabbat comes, that's the most important mitzvah. But right now, you can't do Shabbat. So it's not the most important mitzvah. What about tefillin? Tefillin, you can't do tefillin. It's 10 o'clock at night. Can't put on tefillin 10 o'clock at night. It's not the most important mitzvah. When is the most important mitzvah? In the morning. When you can do tefillin. When you can put layer tefillin. What mitzvah can I do right now? What? You didn't get the point yet? You can learn Torah, you can give tzedakah, you can share this lecture, do kiruv. 3 mitzvot in 5 seconds. And there's plenty of others. That's the most important mitzvah. That's the most important mitzvah, Rabotai. Person needs to understand that it's not just the size of the mitzvah, but it's also the timing. And when a person utilizes these few different tools that we talked about, he's going to make himself be placed in a good place in this circle, regardless of which, sometimes we're up, sometimes we're down, but at least if we make the right decisions when we're up, Hashem will also have mercy on us if we're ever getting to the point that we're down, or our descendants are down. And that's what Rabbi Hanina was trying to teach his wife. When the poor man comes to collect tzedakah, go towards him, go towards him. Don't wait for him to come to you. You already see he's coming, go towards him. Extra kindness. Why? So Hashem, if it gets to the point where our kids or our descendants are down, are homeless, are in bad shape, Hashem also extends somebody to us, that they don't have to embarrass themselves extra. Why? Life is a circle. Life is a circle. With that being said, Bechavod, who wants to come up with some questions? Joshua. It's free, the questions, guys. Free. I'll charge.
I'll up with you on the question regarding the 12 months Gehinom.
Gehinom, 12 months. So, this Gemara in Masechet Shabbat, Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai says that Rashayim go to Gehinom 12 months. But then there's another Gemara, and there's an entire section in the Zohar, and there's an entire teaching in the Reshit Chochmah, and many other holy books that talk about how, from Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai, the same Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai says some people get Gehinom for a very long time. Eternity. Forever. Until the neshama is destroyed. So how can one side you say 1 year, another side you say many years or infinity? Or you look at the Gemara Masechet Rosh Hashanah, when in the beginning it says Rashayim go to Gehinom for 1 year. It says, but some Rashayim go to Gehinom forever. It says, what's the difference? It says if the ones that go forever, they make sins. They're both Rashayim. They make sins. What sins they make? They make sins with their body. It says, give me an example Everybody understands the example, but the example that the Gemara comes up with is someone doesn't put on tefillin. Someone doesn't put on tefillin every day, just simply decides not to put on tefillin. Gemara says he goes to Gehinom forever. And of course, other bodily sins, wasting seed, niyuf, adultery, going with an nidah, and so on. These are different big sins that a person, that if he doesn't do tshuva or she doesn't do tshuva, very, very big problem. But here we still have a contradiction. Okay, how come one time you're telling us one, and another time you're forever? I mean, there's a middle ground somewhere, right? So anyone who looks in the Yerushalmi says, the Gemara Yerushalmi, there's two, there's the Babli, there's Yerushalmi. In Yerushalmi, it says that Divrei Torah are poor in one place, but are rich in another. Meaning that when you learn about a subject in the Torah, a specific issue in the Torah, you must learn it from all of the different places that are mentioning that subject, and not just one place. There's not a single place in the Torah to learn about any issue in the Torah. It's dispersed all over the place. So, for example, the boys right now, Baruch Hashem, are about to complete Masechet Brachot. Now, you know what's the good news? They're learning right now things about Brachot. Now, if you think that this is the last place you're going to learn about Brachot, mistake. Why? Because Sani, that's about to complete Masechet Shabbat, B'ezrat Hashem, guess what? He also learned about Brachot in Masechet Shabbat. Yeah, but how come they didn't put it in Masechet Brachot? Why didn't they just put everything in Masechet Brachot? And everything in Shabbat related to Shabbat. That's not how it works. How does our Torah work? Our Torah works like our nervous system. Where our nervous system, Rabotay, if you ever saw any of these visual illustrations on the computers and so on, see that our nervous system is completely connected. Everything is connected to everything. So sometimes a person can have a pain in their foot that has nothing to do with their foot. It has to do with some clot or some nervous issue that's in their back. Sometimes they can have something in their chest, but it has nothing to do with their chest. It could be something that's happening in a different body part. So that's why, for example, anyone, these in the medical world, they tell you that if you have certain symptoms, then you should check your heart. Say, oh yeah, if my chest hurts. No, not if your chest hurts. Other things. There's other symptoms. Why? Because your whole body is connected. There's a nervous system, everything's connected. So this also explains, people ask me, well, I don't understand, how can everything go so bad from a simple hemorrhoidectomy? How could the whole body be in pain from that surgery that you had? How could it be? Because again, the whole body is connected. If you have a problem with one nerve, it could literally affect the entire body. The entire body. Needless to say, from there we learn, our Torah is just like this. We do not learn Torah from just one book or one line. When we learn about a specific subject, we have to learn about it from everywhere that encompasses it. And that's why you'll see that every time it's mentioned anywhere, it gives you the source of where it got it from. So of course everything starts with the 5 books of Moses. So if you see it in the Gemara, and I tell you, where did you get this from? Oh, this is based on the verse in such and such this. It's in the Gemara, it's in the Chumash, in Sefer Bereshit, in Sefer Shmot, Sefer Vayikra, and so on and so forth. On this verse, I'm going to tell you the source. But also it's mentioned in a different Gemara. And you see that there's another Gemara, and it's also mentioned in the Bereita, and so on and so forth. So you see that they're all connecting things. And you see that this is also discussed in 5 different other places. So then when you see it, for example, you see it in the Shulchan Aruch, the halacha of whatever you're looking for, he's going to tell you, oh yeah, I got this halacha from this Gemara on this page, but also from this Gemara on this page, and also from this posek at this page. Why can't you just give me one? No, you can't just give you one. Why? Because this one is discussing the right side of this mitzvah. This one is discussing the left side of the mitzvah, and this one is discussing the middle of the mitzvah. Hypothetical. Point is that it's not just one place. There's different places. There's different facets to the diamond. That's how we learn Torah. So, when you see a single statement in a Torah that says something that seems like it's contradictory to what we've said, it doesn't mean that we're wrong. What it means is that you have to learn more. And that's why many times, when you see quality speakers, they'll give you one source, sometimes two. But if you see that same speaker write a book, in the book they may mention 5 sources, 10 sources. Why can't he just give me one, like he did in the lecture? Why is he trying to show me he's smart, he knows a lot of sources? No, no, no. You don't speak the way you write, and you don't write the way you speak. It doesn't work the same way. So, when you're learning from the Sfarim, you're learning from the books, you'll see that every single major thing has countless different sources, countless different chachamim. So for example, if you're going to go over a certain halacha today, it's going to tell you, yeah, this halacha, we got it from the Shulchan Aruch, and this and this page, and this and that section. Now, you're going to go to the Shulchan Aruch, to go to the source, right? The Shulchan Aruch is going to tell you, okay, we got this from where? Rambam, and halachot such and such, and page such and such, and halacha such and such. Now you go to the Rambam. Now the Rambam himself didn't put sources. But the Chachamim that came after him put the sources of where he got what he got. So other people have an easier time. So you look at the Rambam, and you see, oh, the Rambam wrote this halacha, where did he get it from? Oh, he's using such and such Gemara. So you go to that Gemara. And that Gemara says it's because of a different Gemara. And a that Gemara, and that Gemara, and then where all they got it from, it's all from the Tanakh, the Chumash, and so on and so forth. Now we don't get halacha from the Tanakh, as far as the prophets or the Nevi'im or Ketuvim, the writings, but we get a smachta from them. Meaning it's like an assurance that this is the right direction of what we're getting. Halacha is only from the 5 books of Moses. But the point being is that why didn't the guy that wrote the book today just mention the original source? Why didn't he just mention this halacha is from Sefer Shmot in Pasuk this and this? Why did he have to give me the Shulchan Aruch, and the Shulchan Aruch gave me the Rambam, and the Rambam gave me one of the Poskim, and this and that, and then I went to the Gemara, and eventually I got all the way to the Promised Land and a written Torah. Why didn't I just get it from the guy that wrote the book today? Why is he breaking my head? Because that's how you learn Torah. That's how you learn Torah. You can't just go and say, oh, if I could just read the Chumash, I'm going to understand Halakha. You're not going to understand anything. Not only you're not going to understand, you're not going to understand anything. You're not even going to understand how they connected this. Unless you go through all of the steps. And in reality, I'm minimizing it. It's a lot more steps than what I'm telling you. Why? Because the guy that wrote the book today, the Gadol that wrote the book today, he's not just mentioning Shulchan Aruch. He's mentioning 5, 10, 20, 30, 50, if it was Rabbi Vadia, 150 sources for one single thing. 150. There's the one in Shulchan Aruch. Yeah, but there's hundreds of major poskim that went forward, that went against, and he's giving you both sides. And why we chose this side? To show you that everything you could possibly think of was already thought of. Everything you think of. So now, when it comes to the issue of Gehinom, if you see it in a regular book that was written by some Chacham, with all due respect to all of them, that says one thing or the other, one sentence, one little tiny paragraph, do not, by any stretch of the imagination, think that this encompasses the entire subject of Gehinom or any other subject. And even if you ask that Chacham himself, if he's an honest person, he's a real Chacham, is this encompassing the whole subject? He's thinking, no, of course not. There's thousands of books written about it. Thousands, not hundreds, thousands. Thousands of books written about it. Thousands of Chachamim spoke about this subject. It's not just Yaron Reuven. Thousands. When we did a shiur on Gehinom, we covered hundreds of sources. But when we did a shiur about Gehinom, when it was pertaining just to Chassidut, meaning not Gehinom discussed by all of the Chachamim in history, but just there was a second shiur that we did, Gehinom based on Chassidut, meaning that you've narrowed down the search. The research that was done for that shiur was over 1,400 sources from Chassidut. 1,400 sources, 1,400 Sfarim, 1,400 different places. Now you guys get it, Baruch Hashem, on a silver platter. Sounds like, oh, it's easy. Yeah, I can do this. I can do what he does. Yeah, I can do it. Yeah, I can do it. Everybody can do it. Yeah, same thing. No, it's not so simple. Why? Baruch Hashem, Rabbi Ephraim is a genius, Talmid Chacham. I try to learn as much as I can and benefit as much as possible, and Baruch Hashem, give it to you guys on a silver platter. But the point is that we see from there that just on the aspect of Chassidut, there are literally hundreds and hundreds of Chachamim that discuss this particular issue. Needless to say, there are thousands that have discussed this issue in the grand, bigger scope of Judaism, which is much bigger than just Chassidut. Everybody understands that Chassidut is not all of Judaism. You know, Judaism existed before 250 years ago when Chassidut started. So, this specific issue is only debated in this generation with this specific argument. No one 50, 100, 200 years ago debated the issue of whether Gehinom is a year or forever. No one debated that. Why? It's obvious, it's clear. First of all, it's a clear Gemara that says it's much longer. Second of all, anyone with a brain knows that it's not possible for everyone to go to Gehinom, all the wicked to go to Gehinom for just 1 year. Why? If you have a brain, let's use it for a second. Okay, brain, turn on. You put the button on, go, mouse starts running. Now, okay, Manis, that told you that Gehinom is only 1 year, worst case. Okay, let's see, Manis, how does this work? Okay, one guy, he kept Torah, mitzvot, went to the shiur, did this, did that. But one time, he did something bad. No matter what it is, he did something bad. Let's say we call it, the guy obviously has to pay. We just had a whole hour talking about how nothing's for free, right? So Hashem says, okay, you get a year in Gehinom. Right? Another guy did not just that one sin that this first guy did, 1,000,000 times more. So you tell me he's also getting 1 year in Gehinom? So that one guy did one sin, he gets 1 year in Gehinom, and the other guy did 1,000,000 times, he's getting only 1 year in Gehinom, that's it, everybody gets the same punishment? If you say that, the Ramban, Nachmanides, in Sha'ar Gmul, says that makes a person 100% a heretic. A kofir, can't count him in minyan. Why? Because saying that everyone gets 1 year in Gehinom turns God into a vicious God. That everybody gets the same sentence. Second, says, yeah, but Rabbi, I'm keeping everything. So what? The worst thing that's going to happen to me is 1 year? Oh, I don't know. What do you mean you're keeping? Do you know everything? It also depends how many times you make sins. Because even if a person makes a sin, okay, I messed up, you don't just make one sin in your life. You make a bunch. So if every sin is 1 year in Gehinom, already you have millions of years. So what's our answer? Don't focus on going to Gehinom. Focus on going to Gan Eden. How do you focus on going to Gan Eden? Do mitzvot. Become so busy doing mitzvot, you don't have time to make sins. And the time that you failed and you made a sin, do tshuva, which is a beautiful thing. Why? Because when you do tshuva, you know what happens? You know what happens when you do tshuva? HaKadosh Baruch Hu gives you reward for the tshuva. Not only you're a criminal, but you know you did tshuva. Hashem says, oh, you did tshuva, my son, I'm going to give you a reward for doing tshuva. In essence, you got rewarded for being a thief because you did tshuva. It's not rational, but that's how much Hashem loves us. But if we focus only about going to Gehinom, then we're probably going to go to Gehinom because we manic depressants. It's good to know that Gehinom is much longer than a year, because if it's really only 1 year, Rabotai, honestly, I would tell everybody, do whatever you want. Everybody's going to Gehinom for just 1 year. It's the worst thing. Do whatever you want. What's the difference if you violate Shabbat, you murder people? Y'all going to go 1 year? That's the worst thing that can happen? What's the point? Because obviously everyone understands it cannot be 1 year, and that's why the Chachamim were very, very adamant about this point, to the extent where the Ramban, one of the greatest poskim, one of the greatest Chachamim Am Yisrael ever had, literally wrote that anyone that says such a thing is 100% a heretic. Just like he violated the entire 13 principles of faith. So, why does the one Gemara or the one Sefer say 1 year or this or that? Because again, like we said in the beginning, we learned it from the Yerushalmi. The Yerushalmi says that The way the Torah works, in one place it's poor, in another place it's rich. In one place it's going to give you one sentence, in another place it's going to give you 5 sentences. That doesn't mean that you by default go to the 5 sentences. Doesn't mean that. What it means is, you take the 1, you take the 5, you combine them. And after that, you look for some more. You look for some more, and little by little, you start getting yourself a serious answer and a serious understanding of a specific subject. That's how Torah is learned. So if you ever see something that's contradictory, don't jump to conclusions, don't get all riled up. This is not the entire scope of the subject, regardless of what the subject is. Does not just Gehinom, anything. Next question. Same price. 1%. No? Chabad?
Okay, we learned with the Rav that our purpose here is to really, with the mitzvot, to really help us fix our character traits and learning with God. So as we're learning and trying to do everything that we do, and let's say in the subject of Bitcoin and knowing that Hashem runs the world and everything that comes to you, it's because Hashem is doing it so. So, like you're working with other people and you yourself, you're trying to keep that focus, but you are put in a situation that people are kind of, they don't understand that idea, and their focus is like, whoever that's I'm doing business with, that person is the one that's fitting me. So they give them that whole glory, and you have to be put in a position to kind of pretty much serve that person in whatever they do, whether they lie or.
Right. So you work you work for a person that does not believe in Ashkacha Pratit. In so many words, is not a person that's preparing themselves for Gan Eden. They're preparing themselves for a very, very different world. They believe that their effort, their strength is what's making the money and what's making their success and so on. Now this is the norm. So it's not a unique situation. The overwhelming majority of the world, literally 99.99999% of the world, unfortunately, has the belief that their effort, their skill, their wisdom, their intellect, their idea is what is going to bring them success. Their luck, their being at the right place at the right time, their coincidence, and so on and so forth. People take credit for all of the good that Hashem gives them as if they got it themselves. This is the norm. Now, what happens when you work for those people? What happens when you do business with those people? Well, the truth is, if you didn't do business with those people, you simply wouldn't be able to work in the world. Because the majority of the people are like this. Either they're your boss, or they're your manager, or they're your employee, or they're your customer, or sometimes, chas v'shalom, your spouse, or your friend, or a family member. They're everywhere. That's how people are. So we have to understand that the Torah doesn't tell you that you're only allowed to associate and do business with people that are tzaddikim gmurim. That are completely righteous, one of the 36 that are, that the world exists on. It doesn't say that. You conduct derech eretz kadma la'olam. The way of the world is, it's a kadma la'Torah. The way of the world and running the world is something that you need to understand and to apply to your life, and make sure that you do whatever is necessary in order for you to fulfill the Torah. Meaning that you're allowed to work with such people as long as they're not, preaching idol worship and getting other people to idol worship or something like that. If they're just mistaken in their ideology and so on, you're still allowed to deal with them, to work for them, to do whatever. But understand that your role is to fulfill the Torah through your life, which includes your job. So how do you fulfill your Torah through your job? By being an honest employee, an honest boss, an honest customer, doing your role. So when you work for somebody, you're getting paid for it, make sure you work. Don't have him pay you for stuff that you're doing for somebody else. If your boss is paying you to work for him for, let's say, I don't know, X amount of hours, he's telling you that from, let's say, I don't know, 8 o'clock in the morning till 6 o'clock at night or till 10 o'clock at night, whatever your schedule is, you work for me. I'm paying you. You're my employee. Right? You're not allowed to do any side projects on his time or her time. You're not allowed. If you do, you're 100% thief. Gezel. Now, yeah, but he never saw and he never got hurt. It doesn't matter if he gets hurt. It doesn't matter if he saw. He's paying you to produce for him. She's paying you to produce for her, not for somebody else. So, yeah, but I got my work done. Doesn't matter. That extra time that you had to do that side project, you could have done that side project that he's paying you for and made him more money. You took that time that he's paying you for to work for something else, for yourself, or for somebody else, you're 100% a thief. You want to work for yourself? Either quit and go work for yourself, or that's at time that he's not paying you for. You cannot do that. So that's in essence how you fulfill the Torah when you're working. Doesn't matter that he's a bad guy, or he doesn't believe in God, or doesn't make a difference. You still have to be a Jew. You still have to comply with the Torah. You still have to do what you're doing. You still have to be honest. If you're the boss, you have to pay people on time. If you're the customer, you have to make sure that your check clears and you're not giving people some checks that are practically less than paper. If you're the employee, you have to make sure that you're an honest employee, and so on and so forth. You have to fulfill your role and be a light to the nations. That doesn't mean that everyone is going to be attracted to your light. But surely, after they see you being a light for a long time, they'll see, he's a light. He's a light. And that's actually what happened many, many times throughout history, where when the Goyim saw that the kochi ve'otzim yadi mentality, that their power and their strength failed. You know, the money didn't help, the weapons didn't help, nothing helped, they were in dire straits. What did? They went to the Jewish people, the persecuted Jewish people. Why? So they're holy. Yeah, but just 6 months ago you made fun of them. Yeah, I made fun of them. It doesn't mean it's true. They're still holy. Yeah, but just 6 months ago you're making this, you're making that. Doesn't make a difference. They're holy. They're special people. They're the light. And when we fail, we have to go to them. So the way you are at work is you have to be honest, you have to be ethical, you have to do what you have to do, and that's what. Now, the other way is, another thing is, you could try to influence the public aside from your actions by also sharing Torah with them in a direct or indirect way by giving them, if they're Jews, giving them one of our CDs, giving them a poster, sharing a text message if you socialize with these people. You give them a text message, one of the lectures. You could try to do kiruv that way. But one thing doesn't contradict the other. One thing is not more than the other. First and foremost, you have to know, as an employee, you're getting paid for a certain service. That's it. Whether the boss or manager or whoever is a good or a bad person doesn't make a difference. If you're going to get that money, you want that money, you have to do the service. You have to provide the service. Now, I can tell you from experience of dealing with, I don't know how many, but it's definitely in the thousands of people in business. Thousands. Customers as well as vendors and so on, service providers and so on. I have yet to meet a single person that's honest in business. One person. This is not one of those times where I'm exaggerating just for a theater. I'm dead serious. Not a single person have I found that's actually honest. Now, sometimes they're good in the beginning. First transaction, you give them something, they provide it. So what do? You come back for more, right? That's when they get you. Sometimes 2 times, or 3 times, or 4 times. Sometimes 6 months. Sometimes it could be 2 years. But it eventually happens. With every single person I've ever dealt with, every single time, never failed. Never failed. It's unbelievable to me. When you say, yeah, I'm honest in business, I laugh in my heart. I'm like, yeah, right. You're either the Mashiach or you're lying to yourself. Why? People don't even know what honesty is. They don't think it's wrong to do what they're doing. You know, they decide, listen, I'm going to charge my customers, I don't know, $100 a month to go clean their pools. How often are you going to come? I'm going to come once a week. Okay, $100 once a week, no problem. All right. The guy comes once a week, a month, 2, 3, 4, 5 months. Good, right? Then all of a sudden you see the guy didn't come this week. Oh, okay, maybe I didn't see him. All right. Then he comes next week. Okay, fine. But then you start noticing after a while he's only coming twice a month, but you're still paying for 4. What happened? No, he came. No, he didn't come. I'm home all day. I see. He didn't come. No, he came. I think you're too busy. No, I'm not too busy. I see. He didn't come. What did the guy think? He thought that you're not going to see. Why? Because usually people are not home. And he's figuring, listen, the pool's clean. No one's using it anyway. So, what's the big deal for this customer if I just skip once? The big deal is, you're a thief. That's the big deal. To the customer, in reality, it's not a big deal. Why the pool's clean or whatever the service is, it's not a big deal. But in Shemaim, 100% big deal. In Shemaim, they're going to take care of you. For what? Skipping. Same thing with other things. You pay a person, here's a commission to do such and such job. Oh yeah, I'm going to do this. The guy doesn't do it. At one time, I was building one of my many websites in business. Websites are like my mini nightmare in life. I've spent so many tens of thousands of dollars on them, and I've built so many. They're like my Tikkun in life. I think, I don't know, I can't be a website developer in a previous Google, but I did something to do with it. Anyway, one time, I had a guy come there, pitch me this whole thing for business, this, that. How much do you want? $47,000 to build this website and this and that, this whole plan. Okay, no problem. Gave him a piece of the money, he started doing some work, delay, do. Okay, sir, here's what you have. After, I don't know, however many months waiting for this thing, he already got, out of the $47,000, he already got $40,000 of it. Which was a mistake on my end, by the way. You should never pay somebody that much money with incomplete work. But anyway, $40,000. Okay, what do you got? I look at the product, I'm like, this is not even half finished. No, listen, I'm not doing it anymore. What do you mean? I paid you all the money. I'm not doing it anymore. Click. You know what type of stuff like this happened to me in life? Woo! I can give you the stories, the world would end, and the stories wouldn't. Countless. Lawyers, doctors, web developers, all types of business, everything. Why? People are simply dishonest to the extent where they don't even realize it's wrong. You know who realizes it's wrong? People that have Yirat Shamayim. And that's why the Gemara says, someone who doesn't have Yirat Shamayim, you shouldn't even be in a room with him, alone. Why? He may kill you. Why? Just because he has Yirat Shamayim, he may kill you? Yes. Where we learn it from? Avraham Avinu. Avraham Avinu says to Avimelech, Avimelech says, how come you didn't tell me that your wife is really that your sister is really your wife? Avraham says to him, I saw there's no Yirat Shamayim here, so they would kill me over my wife. Person have no Yirat Shamayim, don't deal with them at all. But the problem is, it's going to be very, very hard for you to find customers, managers, employee, everything. So you have to deal with people that are Yirat Shamayim. But just be very careful. Be very careful and expect the worst. Don't be overly optimistic with certain things, because this is reality. It's reality. Certain people promise a lot. If they would deliver half of what they promise, it's already a miracle. And that's how it is practically in all of the dealings that I've seen in my life. And trust me, even if you say, no, maybe you have bad luck. It's not. I don't have bad luck. Other people tell me stories. Just a few days ago, somebody says, listen, for a guy that was struggling because of Corona and everything else, he's a builder or whatever he is, and he can't build nothing. So I felt bad, so we figured, you know what, let us give this guy some work. Give some work in the house. So we told him, listen, come to the work, fix up this place. I don't know, $10,000 job. It's good money when you don't have any money. Or anyway, $10,000 job, good, great, okay. After he finished the job, okay, great, all right, thank you, got the money, okay, very good, thank you very much, see you. After the guy leaves, oh, honey, where's the boxes we got from UPS today? I don't know. What do you mean you don't know? We got some stuff. I don't know. Let's look at the camera. Look at the camera. The guy stole the stuff from them. The guy stole the boxes. They saw him on camera. This guy stole the boxes. The same guy, they just fed him. He was broke, had no money to pay, nothing. They gave him a job. He stole from them. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, no, I know. Yeah. Okay, just bring it back. It's okay. Machulecha. I don't know what got into me. Yetzara. Okay, Yetzara. Rabotai, every day. Why? You have no Yirat Shamayim. You commit murder in a second. Needless to say, be dishonest in business. So what do we learn from here? Be careful. Set your expectations where they should be and not where you want them to be. Be careful. Expectations. Don't be overly optimistic. Don't be overly pessimistic either, because you're pessimistic, you can't move on in life. You have to be optimistic to a certain extent, but when it comes to people, set yourself up in such a position where everyone is replaceable. Do not depend on anybody being here tomorrow. Don't think anyone owes you anything. Don't think that anyone is going to promise you anything. Whatever promises people tell you, have it 1 year and out the other. Not because they're dishonest, not because they're bad people, but because today that's what they're saying. Who knows if they still believe what they're saying next week? People change. Korach was a tzaddik, Rabotai. People think that Korach was a gangster. Korach was a tzaddik. You know how I know? He was a Navi. He's a prophet. He saw in prophecy that is in his lineage, Shmuel HaNavi is coming. Hashem doesn't give somebody such visions. What happened with Korach? His wife whispered in his ear, told him, man, Moshe Rabbeinu is a wicked wife. He listened to her. Next thing you know, instead of loving Moshe Rabbeinu, he hates him. That's what the Torah says, Isha bona, Isha oreset. A woman builds, a woman destroys. If she's righteous, then she'll tell you, listen, Moshe Rabbeinu, he's a good rabbi, you should listen to him. Yeah, but he said something I didn't like, he rebuked me. Listen, he's a rabbi. If he rebuked you, say, I'm sorry, Rabbi, you're right. Yeah, but I'm not sorry. Say, I'm sorry. Why? He rebuked you. He's right. Well, he's not right. He's right. How do you know he's right? You didn't even hear what he said. If he said it, he's right. Why? He's the rabbi. By default, he's right. By default. Doesn't have to explain himself. People go, no, can you explain this? I don't have to. What? You're the rabbi. I don't tell him, if I ask my rabbi certain questions, and he gives me an answer against what I want, I don't say, can you explain it to me, please? Why do you have this? I don't say that. Sometimes you want more to learn, but not because you're trying to have him justify. Sometimes somebody tells you, oh, listen, where does it say what you said? Is there a source for it? What, you think I'm a liar? Now, if you're asking for a source first, second, third, fourth time, no problem. Or because you don't know, maybe I'm a liar, maybe I make stuff up. But after you've gotten 100 sources from me already, you're still asking for a source? Is it for learning purposes, or are you trying to see if I'm lying? I just made it up for entertainment purposes. And that's the problem, Rabotai. You have to understand. You have a certain role, rabbis have a certain role, Talmidei Chachamim have a certain role, employees have a certain role, the boss has a certain role, customer has a certain, everybody's got a certain role. You have to have certain expectations, certain things, put everybody in certain things, and just understand that not everything is always going to dance to your tune and work according to your plan, but you got to keep pushing. Keep pushing, do what you got to do, put your head down, focus. So Hashem, good things will follow. Good things will follow. But as far as disappointments from people, the longer you live, the more you become used to it, because that's what happens. That's what happens. It is what it is. It is what it is. Go ahead. Hopefully you guys have less disappointments than I did in my life, but I don't know. I know a lot of old timers, and They kind of had similar journey. That's what people are. Next, we're almost done. What time is it? Okay, we don't know. No? You guys are asking some big philosophical questions today. Big, you can make shiurim out of these questions. No? Give me an easy one. No? No. Sunny got one. Okay, no?
So,
Yeah.
the Netanya says in Gehinom, judge in favor of the poor.
Okay.
I don't remember which one it was, but I believe it was last week's parasha. It says not do that. So why? What's going on?
You have to look at the commentary of exactly where he said it, what Rashi says over there. You know,
It says you're supposed to judge everyone.
yes, so surely a person has to judge everyone based on halacha. And it's forbidden for a person to ever judge a person based on his circumstance. Meaning that if the halacha says that, let's say for example, there's a big lawsuit between a rich guy and a poor guy, and the rich guy can afford to lose. He's got tons of money, and the poor guy can't afford to lose. Can't afford to lose. So sometimes people want to be nice and philosophical and say, listen, the rich guy can afford to lose. Let's just give the case to the poor guy. The Gemara says such a dayan, such a person that judges like this is destroying the world. Why? You're manipulating Torah. You're not allowed to judge this way. Not allowed to judge this way. So what I believe David HaMelech may be referring to over there when he says judge the poor favorably is an aspect of the legitimacy of their case, meaning that sometimes rich people sue each other without any legitimacy, just to get back at each other, just to hurt each other, not because they actually have a case, not because they really have a loss. They're suing their insurance company for damages they didn't even incur. Why? Because they figured, let me make some money out of this. They're suing their partner for something they don't even have. No, you hurt me, you have punitive damages. My reputation is down, I want $10 million. Your whole life is not worth $5. You want $10 million for your reputation? No, I'm going to sue for this amount because I think I deserve this. So sometimes the rich people, not necessarily just billionaires, but just people that are relatively successful and not poor, they press charges against each other and lawsuits against each other without legitimacy. Whereas a poor person, generally he's not going to do that. Why? He's already struggling as it is. He doesn't have that kind of time to waste, like the rich person. He doesn't have the luxury of time to go sue people for no reason. He also doesn't have the budget to do it. When you're a rich person, you could just pretty much have your own in-house lawyer or a law firm on retainer and pretty much just sue people on a regular basis. I had a guy like that actually. He used to be my boss, ended up becoming my employee, and this guy was the most litigious person in the world. Now I can't even say his name because it's like Beetlejuice. You say his name 3 times, he shows up. Now this guy is the worst person, like literally one of the worst people on earth. And he's a very dangerous person. And anyway, this guy was the most litigious person in the world. Everybody he sued. If you looked at him the wrong way, sued you. If he did this, sued you. Right or wrong, sued you. Worst person. Everybody had a law. Every company he ever worked at, lawsuit. Every company. Bunch of his customers, lawsuits. It was unbelievable how many lawsuits this guy had. Anyway, I made the mistake of actually hiring this guy. He used to be my boss, and then, I went my own way. I became a lot more successful than he ever was. And one day he connected to me, and he wanted to become friends again, and he talked to my brother. He says, listen, maybe we could work together. Sold us a dream of how he could help us build a firm, and I really wanted to go in a different direction, so I needed somebody. I needed somebody to run the division, the company. And I bought into it. I said, okay, you know what? I'll give you a job. I'll give you this. Whatever you want, I gave it. I was generous. I did. Okay, no problem. Within a week, my whole office is like upside down because of all the havoc this guy's going. But I say, you know what? Let him go. Let him do whatever he's got to do. He knows what he's doing. All right, he gets his paycheck. He gets his this. He gets his that. He's building. Okay, sometimes when there's change, there's a little bit of turmoil in the beginning. But I start seeing the employees are complaining. There's different difficulties we never had before. So already within the first few weeks, my wife already comes to me and says, this is a mistake. Mistake. Okay, but how do we get out of this mistake? We have a contract with this Amalek in my office. I have a contract with this guy. So whatever, he'll bury himself. One day, so we continue doing what we're doing. Within a matter of maybe a month and a half, 2 months, he started burying himself, as he always does. And gets into an argument with me, does a few things out of line. And we catch him stealing. So it's, okay, you stole this, okay, violated the contract on this, and this, that's it, fired. That night, he got his lawyer to send, that night, it was like mamash prepared already. That night, he already had his lawyer send me like a 20-page letter with 50 accusations of some crazy stuff that he just made up of different things he wants to sue me for, $50 million. Or $250,000 cash right now. One of them, I'll never forget this. He said, because he was not Jewish, and he was an Italian guy, and I like Italian people, but this guy, even the Italian people don't like. He said that he felt persecuted every time the rabbi, the Chabad guys used to come to my office like 3 times a week. He felt persecuted that when the religious Jews would come to the office, because he wasn't Jewish, and we would whip him. We would whip him because he's not Jewish. The craziest stuff in the world. Then he said that like the secretary touched him. This guy is like mamash, a giant. And his little secretary says she touched him in a provocative way. Like all types of crazy stuff. And the lawyer doesn't care, I'll write anything. Why? Because he's a Chashad just like him. In the end, he got 0. I told him to go fly a kite. And, go play this game with somebody else. But not 50 million, not 200,000, not 0. He actually owed us money till this day. But the point is that there's some people are just like that. Some people, they're always the victim. They want to sue everybody. Everyone's wrong. Listen. 1 time, 2 times, 3 times, everybody's wrong, okay, maybe. But if you're in a lawsuit on a regular basis, check yourself. It can't be everybody. Now, I know I'm kind of contradicting some, or I sound like I'm contradicting some of the things I said myself. I said I've never met a single honest person. I didn't sue all of them. They're not honest. I moved on with my life. Already at this point, I don't even waste my time. I don't waste my time suing people and even arguing with them. I see somebody, actually just 2 weeks ago, somebody made an agreement with me, said he's going to do something, and I told him, okay, it's time to do what you said you're going to do 2 years ago. Oh, I don't remember saying that. You sure I said that? I said, listen, I remember stuff from 3 years old. I remember what you said. Yeah, no, I remember that I said, all of a sudden he remembers. I remember that I said it, but I don't think I meant it that way. I said, there's no other way to mean it. But don't worry. You don't want to do it? Do whatever you want. You don't want to do it? Don't worry about it. Hashem will send me the money. Hashem will send the money. You don't want to do it? You owe me the money? You don't think you owe? You don't want to do it? No problem. Go. No, you don't understand. No, I understand perfectly fine. If you want to give me the money you owe me, give. You don't want to give? Don't give. Why? Kadosh Baruch Hu will take care of it. I'm going to fight with you, go to Bedin. What's time for that? What's time for that? What's time to go fight? If I'm entitled to the money, HaKadosh Baruch Hu will send it right to my door. If I'm not, I could fight till I'm blue in the face. And I'm not getting the money. I got a guy that owes me $500,000 right now. You know how much $500,000 is more than what I have? $500,000. Guy, I lent him $500,000 years ago. Supposed to give it back in 90 days. It's been 13 years. 14 years. I never sued him. I won't sue them. I don't even call the guy. Why? Because if I'm entitled to the money, HaKadosh Baruch Hu will send it to my door. Without asking. Without nothing. You know why I didn't get it? I don't deserve it. Why? I don't know. I do good things with my money. I give Maaseh, I give 25, everything good. But HaKadosh Baruch Hu decided that I don't deserve it, maybe I don't need it, whatever it is. HaKadosh Baruch Hu had a decision. If you need it, you want it, he's going to take care of everything. That's how it works. That's how it works. What about the Bet Din? Bet Din is also good. Use it when you need to use it. Use it when you need to use it. But if you're able to have emunah to the extent where you know that everything that's yours will be given to you, you'll never be shortchanged, he could steal from you, but Hashem can give you the money in a different way. If you understand that Hashem runs the world, you don't even have to use Bet Dins. Chabad says that Bet Dins is for people that have no Yirat Shamayim, but that's a different story. That's for in his level. So if somebody steals from you, you try to get the money back from them. If they don't want to give you the money back, you go to the Bet Din to tell them, listen, if you don't, it'll take you to the Bet Din. If they don't want to go to the Bet Din, you get a permission from the Bet Din to go to civil court. You're allowed to use that. There's no problem with you doing that. There's not a problem. But if you've gotten yourself at a point where you believe that you are, you have the emunah, that you know that nothing's going to be shortchanged and you're going to get everything that's you're entitled to, you don't have to use the Bet Din. But that's as long as you're not suffering, though. Meaning, if you're not going to go to the Bet Din, you can't eat your heart out every day. Oh, I can't believe you did it to me. When am I going to get the money back? No, if that's your attitude, go to the Bet Din. Go to the Bet Din. If it doesn't bother you at all, you know Hashem is going to give it to you, you're patient, don't bother. Don't waste your time. Go learn Torah with that time. That's again, everybody different level, and I'm not telling you that I'm always this way. I'm not telling you that I got this overnight, or it's not. It's so easy. But the point is that you're gonna have ups, you're gonna have downs, you're gonna have good things, you're gonna have bad things. But if you do good things with your money, I promise you that Kadosh Baruch Hu will do good for you. And I'm gonna finish it tonight with a real life story. You know why I got the story? An hour before the lecture. I always tell you guys want miracles? Come to the lecture. A wonderful woman who's going to be writing this story on our website as part of the TeShuva stories. She says, Rabbi, I have to tell you something. Something happened twice. When something happens once, it's an incident, coincidence, that happened twice. One time a guy donated, I was teaching or whatever, he says, donate $500, which was not a lot of money for him, but a lot of money for his stinginess. An hour later, he tells me, wow, you're never going to believe it. So what? Said, I donate $500. By the way, it took him 3 years to donate this $500. I donated $500. You're never going to believe it. Just some woman out of nowhere called me, says, listen, I want you to do this job for me, pick up stuff in my house, I'll pay you $500. Hashem paid me right away what I donated. So, Baruch Hashem, what a miracle. In reality, I'm a Yavin. So anyway, this wonderful woman, she says, Rabbi, I have to tell you something. I have proof that tzedakah tetzii mimavit. I said, I know I have proof. I have proof also in the Torah. Because no, I have proof in the Torah, a real life. So what happened? She said, a month ago, I donated money to Be'ezrat Hashem, to the organization, and that night, I donated. An hour later, I went in the car with my young daughter. We're going somewhere. Somebody blew the stop sign, smashed into our car. Atzala came, they looked at us, says, we have no idea how you're alive. Without a scratch on. Mamash, an hour after I donated the money, somebody blew a stop sign, but nothing happened to us. Baruch Hashem. She says, last night, that was a month ago. Last night, I got this natural thing for that she started to take, trying it out. She didn't know she's allergic to it. She took a bite of this thing, and she started feeling her throat close up. Hashem yishmor v'yatzil. Within a matter of minutes, she started to have a hard time breathing. Atzala, come, this, that. Atzala came, everything. Said, lady, you're allergic to this thing. They gave her a shot. Within mamash seconds, saved her life. Everything's Baruch Hashem. Everything's good. When was that? An hour after she donated. She said, Rabbi, I was supposed to die twice. But I gave tzedakah to Be'ezrat Hashem. Hashem saved my life. Says, Rabbi, please do me a favor, spread the story. Tell people that it's 100% true. You donate to Bezrat Hashem, you donate for Torah, you donate for HaKadosh Baruch Hu, it's going to save your life. Maybe today, maybe tomorrow, maybe this, but everything, at some point, everything you do will have an outcome. Your prayers will have an outcome. Your tzedakah will have an outcome. It may be an hour from now, and maybe a year from now, maybe 10 years, maybe in your kid's lifetime, who knows? But for sure you're going to get paid for it, for sure. Make sure that all of those investments that you're doing and you're making are good ones. The investments you make with your mouth, the investments that you make with your pocket. Make sure that they're good. So the payment that you're going to eventually get, or that your descendants and kids are going to get, is a good payment. Why? Because that's the type of payment that Hashem loves the most. He wants to give you a good payment. He wants to save your life. But He also wants you to see that technically, it could have been something else. It could have been something else. So Baruch Hashem, that people are doing the right thing. And they're helping Am Yisrael do TeShuva day after day by supporting Bezrat Hashem. May they continue supporting Bezrat Hashem. May we be able to open the yeshiva, the kollel, this huge community that we're Bezrat Hashem going to build in South Florida for all those that want to donate $1 million and up. You could text me, 917-468-2324. No phone calls. Please, have some mercy on me. I have hundreds of messages to deal with. But Be'emet, on a serious note, it's when you donate to Bezrat Hashem, you're donating for yourself. You're donating for your investment for Olam HaBa. The second house, the first house, all the extra kitchen, all that other stuff, that's just this world. We all have to donate for Olam HaBa. So anyone that can, should, and even if you can't, try to get other people that can. Everyone can do something. You have a few friends, you have a few family members that you can get together. Try to get people to do as much as possible, because right now we're hot, we're doing good. People are, people need this, people want this, and that's what we got to take advantage. You got to take advantage of the opportunity that we have, because again, if we do enough work in a relatively short period of time, we may even be able to start something already in the next school year. But if we delay so much and people pretty much, crawl, sending $20 a month for the sake of this, it's going to happen a long time. So we want everyone to be involved. Why? Because we don't want to give the merit to just one person. Just like we learned from the Chafetz Chaim. One wall. Why? But I want to donate $1 million. Okay, so the $1 million will be for one wall. We still want the $1 million. It's not like less money. It's the same money. It's one wall. Why? Because we want all of Klal Yisrael to be involved. There's a lot to do, Rabotai. There's a lot of shurim, a lot of movies, a lot of books, puzzles, all types of ideas, cartoons, Yishtabach Shemo. We got lots of stuff in the works. We need an enormous amount of funding. Rabbi Ephraim says to me, he says, listen, honestly, I think even if people donate $100 million, it still wouldn't be enough. I said, for your ideas alone, it wouldn't be enough. He has a new idea by the second, God bless him. So, Rabotai, there's a lot of good things to do, but we need as many partners as possible. The investment is for you. The investment is for you. Be'ezrat Hashem, we all set ourselves up for good, for HaKadosh Baruch Hu to be in a position that He wants to be in, which is to give us good. And Be'ezrat Hashem, we do good for others, be a light to our own nation, be a light to the nations, and bring nachat to Borei Barach. Baruch Adonai Le'olam. Amen ve'amen.